we have the rosters, right? We know what they are. We know who's on them, and I can pull them up if you want. But what I wanted to ask you
freestyle it
is about
guess. Remember
what I wanted to ask you about is the teams. Obviously,
that's the junior.
That's the World Juniors. Yeah, the teams and the players that they selected, and specifically 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
The teams that are most loaded with NHL talent, top 3 are Canada, United States, and Sweden. I would put Finland in there. Without Sasha Barkov, there's probably not going to be a fit here for what we're talking about. What I want to talk about is snubs, because we have, I'm sure you saw ad nauseum the amount of, takes and that sort of thing. And I think sometimes when you've got like a week to think about something, you think about it, you sleep on it. Everybody wants that instant reaction. But now here we are about a week later, and we know what this team looks like for Team Canada. If you were to say, hey, I'm a general manager, which Jesse used to be, and I would have done it differently, here's how I would have done it. Who's the one snub from Team Canada that you think is maybe not egregious, but somebody that you've been like, I would have gone with this person instead?
I don't know if it's so much I would have gone with this person instead, but I was shocked they left Sam Bennett off. Shocked. He just won the Conn Smythe Trophy, right? So Jordan Binnington is on this team because he's having a good season? Well, no.
No, you can't keep jumping around. You keep it to Sam Bennett.
No. I understand your point.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say the same thing.
All
he's on this team because he's having a good season?
No, he's not.
No.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the Four Nations team because he was having a good season?
No, he's not.
No.
He's got pictures of Doug Armstrong.
Well, he was on the team. Okay, that's a very important factor. The bias of his own general manager, which will come up later in conversations. But there's proof of concept of him winning in high leverage situations.
Yes.
They trusted him, and it looked shaky at first, and lo and behold, they were right. Sam Bennett has been an incredible playoff performer outside of last season. And then he won the Conn Smythe Trophy. And go back to the Four Nation Face-Off final. Who tied the game?
Yeah.
Sam Bennett.
Yeah.
Who was, yes, a healthy scratch at times during that tournament. But of all the guys they could have taken off, because I know they wanted Suzuki, and I was surprised they took Suzuki. Not against the pick, but I was surprised they did.
Well, there's some tension between him and Hockey Canada.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess they get along now. I was surprised that Sam Bennett was the casualty.
Jesse, who do you think is most egregious in terms of snubs? Who would you put in instead?
Now, I don't know if he'd even, like, if I'm doing the team strictly based on who's the best and who's playing the best and who fits the best as a team, I'm not even sure if he'd make the roster, but he might be a healthy scratch, and I think he deserves to be there as a healthy scratch, but I'm not sure he'd actually crack the forward group.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't even in consideration for my least favorite thing that happens with these teams, and that is the political game that these people who run these national teams always play with these players. Connor Bedard was never allowed to be on this team, regardless of how good or bad his season was. And his season was very good. He was amongst the league leaders in goal scoring when he went out for injury, and he had a fantastic year. And I get the people talk about his defensive deficiencies, but they have people for that. He's a great goal scorer. And Doug Armstrong said the quiet part out loud when he was asked about whether Bedard was considered for the team before he got injured. And he said no, in short words. He said no, because Bedard didn't do enough so far this season. But if we're looking at where he was in comparison to Celebrini, like, they were right there. And because Bedard decided to poo-poo the World Championships last season and not go over and play with that squad and decide to get healthy for this upcoming season because he wasn't happy with where his game was at ending last season, Team Canada said, you're on our no-fly list.
Which sucks.
And that's bullshit. And they do this with the damn kids at the World Juniors all the time. Every kid who goes to the NCAA, you're on the blacklist for Team Team Canada. And now they're doing it with these kids, the kids, because Bedard still is a kid, but these men at the professional level, whereas you're not doing enough for Team Canada, so we're not even going to consider you. And I think that's disgusting. That's why I'm calling it the biggest.
Well,
snub.
that's why Suzuki was maybe not going to be on the
exactly.
team.
Team Canada
played it so much.
Team Canada, by the way, is not held to that standard. Like their management. Hey, if you come to this tournament no one really cares about it, people are gonna they care about it in Europe, but over here, we're snobs about the World Championship, frankly. It's gonna help you. It didn't help John Tavares. And the much more egregious one, if we're gonna go with like the future of the program and you scratch our back or I'll scratch yours and performing well, Seth Jarvis. What was all of last year about?
When he was not named to the roster, it wasn't even a conversation. Like people weren't even bringing
Bedard or Jarvis?
Jarvis, because people weren't even talking about it because they were just like, nah, he's done. So it wasn't even like on all these projected lists, but he 100% has a case to be there.
Yeah, and I'm not like, would I have named him to the team personally? Probably not. If he ended up on the team because of injury, like I'd have no problem with it. Like I think at the bottom of the lineup, like the margins are so small and it's like it's star out, star in sort of thing. But all the stuff he did for a case to be on this team did not apply.
No.
But if you snub Team Canada at any point, and I think this applies to other programs too, you're persona non grata, which isn't fair.
So that Bedard's my biggest snub because he wasn't even in consideration for strictly politics. And it's disgusting.
And I think that's a great point, Jess. Also, my fantasy team has just died since he went down. And Leo Carlson's injured too, so it just sucks. But hey, I think that Islanders fans would be upset, especially after Matthew Schaefer dunked on the Leafs, for me not to pick him. And I wanted him on the team, but I'm not gonna go there. For me,
might end up there anyway.
Yeah, he might end up there anyway. For me, it's gonna be in goal. And if we're gonna, as you said, leave Sam Bennett off the team or Seth Jarvis off the team because their start wasn't very good. Jordan Binnington pitched a shutout as soon as he was named to the team, so this is kind of hilarious.
Yeah,
but. There is one of these things is not like the other going on with this. And I believe that one of Mackenzie Blackwood or Scott Wedgwood, and I would say Wedgwood because he's played more games, deserved a third spot. I don't even think Binnington should be starting. I don't know if he should be dressed. Like, I think it's got to be Logan Thompson, Darcy Kemper.
If he's there, he has to start.
I know.
That's
the part I don't like that. You know, it's like, that's nice that happened 8 months ago, but this is sports. 8 months is a long time. And I think it's more like, what have you done for me lately? And I know that's not how they're going to operate. I know that they're weirdly loyal to certain people and you got to respect it. And I got to say too, like, if you look at the way this roster is constructed, it's like, well, half the Tampa Bay Lightning are here and we've left the Florida Panther off. That's an interesting rivalry situation.
It reads interesting. Well, wait till we get to Team USA.
Yes, exactly. So we'll leave it there with Team Canada for now.